With the wedding celebrations now over, the Pandavas began to think of their next move. How were they going to recover their kingdom? No word had been received from Hastinapur. The Kurus now knew that the Pandavas were alive and well, living at Virata. According to the agreement made at the final gambling match, it was now time to give them back their city and dominions. But it seemed the matter still would not be settled peacefully. So Krishna suggested they call an assembly and discuss what to do next. Thus, the day following the wedding, all the kings came to Virata's court. On the front seat sat Virata and Drupada, the senior-most kings, along with Krishna and Balaram, whom everyone considered to be the greatest. By their sides sat Yudhishthir and his brothers, and all around them were dozens of other monarchs. These mighty heroes shone like stars studding the clear sky. The hall buzzed with their conversation as they settled into their places. When everyone was seated, the noise died down, and they sat gazing pensively at Krishna, smiling gently and glancing all around at the kings. Krishna spoke first. Everyone here knows how Yudhishthir was unfairly defeated at dice and dispossessed of his kingdom by the son of Subal. You also know how he and his brothers were made to live in the forest for 13 years. The sons of Pandu, who are capable of subjugating the world by force of arms, whose chariots go unrestrained to any terrestrial or celestial region, and who are true to their word, have now completed their vow. They have suffered unbearable hardships, especially in this last year, when they were obliged to accept menial service to others. Now they seek their rightful kingdom. Krishna stopped and looked around the assembly. All the kings seated on golden thrones, decked with gems, gazed intently at Krishna as he continued to speak. O kings, consider what is right and best for both the son of Dharma and for Duryodhana. The virtuous Yudhishthir will not accept even the kingdom of the gods unrighteously. He would prefer the rightful lordship of just one single village. Although he has been antagonized and cheated by the Kauravas, still he wishes them well. Duryodhana and his brothers repeatedly have tried to kill the Pandavas, but still Yudhishthir has tolerated everything with a peaceful mind. All of his brothers are obedient to his order and would never abandon virtue. They will accept whatever Yudhishthir decides is correct, and he will always follow my advice. Krishna then glanced at Yudhishthir, whose eyes were fixed affectionately on Krishna's lotus-like face. Yudhishthir desired only to please Krishna, and his brothers all shared that same sentiment. Whatever Krishna advised would surely be best for them. Even Bhimasena, although longing to wreak vengeance on the Kauravas, would renounce his anger if Krishna deemed it wrong. Bhima rested a hand on his great mace as Krishna went on. My feelings are that we should first establish Duryodhana's intentions by sending a reliable messenger to Hastinapur. By all means, let us try to settle this affair peaceably and fully in accordance with the eternal codes of religion. Let us avoid unnecessary violence. But if Duryodhana will not return Yudhishthir's lands, then I think there will have to be a war. the Pandavas will slay Duryodhana and all of his followers. So now, if you feel the Pandavas' cause is just, then unite yourselves and your forces along with them and march out for battle. Tell me, O kings, if my words meet with your approval." Balaram was the first to raise his hand, signifying his intention to speak. The assembly turned towards him. His dark blue silks highlighted his pure white complexion. A brilliant helmet adorned his head, and a garland of white lotuses hung around his neck, and by his side lay his golden plow weapon. And as he spoke, Balaram's voice resounded around the hall like a drum. "Devaki's son has spoken well. His words are meant for the welfare of both the Kauravas and the Pandavas. Let the Kuru kingdom be shared. The heroic sons of Kunti will dwell in peace with their cousins, each ruling half of the Kuru empire. I agree that a man should be dispatched to Hastinapur. He should address the noble-minded Bhishma, Drona, Vidura, Kripa, Karna, Shukuni, and all of Dhritarashtra's sons. All of them are heroes, and all of them are well-versed in the Vedas." After informing these men of Yudhishthir's desire, the messenger should carry back their reply. But the Kauravas must be given due deference. After all, it was by Yudhishthir's fault that the kingdom was lost. Although unskilled at dice, he accepted the skillful Shukuni's challenge. And there were many other kings with whom he could have played, but he chose the son of Subala. Balaram looked at Yudhishthir and smiled. He showed no sign of discomfort at Balaram's words. Yudhishthir had always felt guilty of a misdemeanor for having gambled away his kingdom. He bowed his head as Balaram continued. But the brave son of Pandu unfortunately lost at every step of the game. In the grip of lust and anger, he gambled everything and was defeated. So, who can blame Shukuni for that? Therefore, we must adopt a conciliatory tone when we address the Kauravas, and by all means we should avoid war. For that which is gained by peaceful means is beneficial to all, while that gained by war has just the opposite effect. Although Yudhishthir accepted Balaram's speech, it surprised the other Pandavas. They knew that the Yadava hero had a soft spot for Duryodhana, his disciple at mace fighting, but when Balaram last saw them, just after their leaving Hastinapur, Balaram had been in favor of them marching into the Kuru capital and punishing the Kauravas. So it was hard to understand why Balaram's attitude had changed. Perhaps Duryodhana had influenced him with his version of what had happened in Hastinapur. Whatever the causes, the Pandavas knew that Balaram was always their well-wisher, so they remained silent as Balaram paused his speech. Suddenly, Satyaki, a most powerful Yadava hero and one of Arjuna's martial students, leaped to his feet. He was incensed by Balaram's words and could not tolerate hearing any more. Even as Balaram continued speaking, Satyaki interrupted, and all eyes turned towards him. Yes, it is true. A man will always reveal his inner nature when he speaks. Even as a forest contains trees which bear fruits and those which do not, so in one family are born powerful heroes and others who are powerless and cowardly. O you, who bears the sign of the plow on your banner, I am loath to call you cowardly, but why do you display such timidity toward the wicked Kauravas. Balaram sat calmly, but Satyaki's face glowed red with fury. He gazed around the assembly as he went on. How can anyone sit here and listen as Balaram speaks in this way? We all know what happened in Hastinapur. Yudhishthir was cheated of his kingdom by a mean trick. Had the Kauravas gone to Indraprastha and defeated him there, then that would have been fair. But they summoned him to play in their own city and then compelled him to accept Shakuni's challenge. How can prosperity attend to such men? Why should Yudhishthir now approach them in a servile mood? The Kuru kingdom is his by right. It once belonged to his grandfather and then to his father. There is no doubt about this. Even if this pious man had no rightful claim to the kingdom, he still deserves to rule the earth by virtue of his qualities. If the Kauravas will not willingly give him back his ancestral territories, then I shall force them to do so. I will persuade them by cold steel on the battlefield. Satyaki then stepped forward and stood on the mosaic floor in the center of the hall. He clutched the hilt of his sword as he stepped into the middle of the design depicting the blazing sun. I myself will oblige the evil-minded Kauravas to fall at Yudhishthir's feet. And if they refuse, then they shall all have to go with their ministers to the abode of death. Who is there who can withstand me when I stand ready to fight? Can the mountains bear the thunderbolt? In the same way, who can bear the brunt of the Gandiva bow when Arjuna wields it, or the force of Bhima's mace? When the Pandavas are united with Drupada and his 2 sons, as well as their own sons, what man valuing his life would face them? When the great Yadava heroes come out for battle, what will the Kauravas do? After killing all of them, let us install Yudhishthir as emperor of the world. It is impious and shameful to beg from enemies. We should set out at once. Either the Kauravas will surrender the kingdom, or they will lie prostrate on the battlefield. Having vented his anger, Satyaki returned to his seat. Balaram still remained peaceful. He could understand Satyaki's feelings. Then the old King Drupada spoke. O you with long arms, it will doubtlessly be as you say. Duryodhana will never surrender the kingdom. Dhritarashtra is too fond of his son and will allow him without any question. So it will be with Bhishma and Drona, for they have a misguided loyalty. In my opinion, we should not act on Balaram's suggestion. Duryodhana will not respond to a humble approach. He will misunderstand such a mild message as weakness. Force is the only language he respects. Everyone present esteemed Drupada's wisdom and maturity. They listened attentively as he continued to speak. So here now is my advice. Let us prepare for battle. Send out messengers to all of our allies and have them come here at once. Duryodhana will certainly do the same. Why, even now his men will be heading out and approaching even those whom we now count as friends. So our messengers should travel swiftly around the globe, for a noble man will not refuse one who first asks him for help. Drupada then named the kings and their countries where they could find support. He knew Duryodhana would ask everyone to fight with him, whether they were his allies or not. It was important to reach the kings first with their own plea. After listing 40 or 50 monarchs who might assist their cause, Drupada concluded, "While we are assembling our forces, let one good man go to Dhritarashtra. I suggest we send my Purohit priest. We should carefully instruct him what to say to the Kauravas, but I do not expect much to come out of that. Battle is inevitable." Krishna clapped his hands approvingly. Yes, these words befit the great king of the Panchals, who is unequaled in prowess. You are old in learning and wisdom. Thus, you are just like our guru. We should act as you say and not otherwise. I fully agree. But my relationship with both the Pandavas and the Kauravas is the same, regardless of the present situation among them. I have come here and have been pleased by King Virata's reception. The wedding is over, and so I will now return to Dwaraka. So I leave it in your hands, O monarch, to guide these kings in how to sue for peace between the two parties. If a mutually agreeable solution cannot be found, and if the foolish Duryodhana will not accept peace due to his pride and arrogance, then summon me once again, for I will do all in my power to help. The assembly of kings agreed to Krishna's proposal, and they withdrew to their own quarters. King Virata worshipped Krishna with respect and sent Krishna on his way back to Dwaraka. Then Virat began to make preparations for war. Messengers on swift horses were dispatched around the world, and soon large armies began to arrive at Virata's kingdom. Troops poured in from all quarters and set up camp around the city. Filled with men and animals, the earth seemed covered with dark clouds. The gathering troops created a clamor resembling the roaring ocean. Meanwhile, in the Kuru capital as well, vast armies were amassing to support Duryodhana. Goddess Earth, with her mountains and forests, seemed to tremble under the burden of so many warriors. When the large force was ready at Virat, Drupada, after consulting with the other kings and Brahmanas, spoke with his priest. "O Brahmana, among all men, those who are twice born are the best. And among the twice born, the Brahmana is the best. And among Brahmanas, one who knows the Vedas is superior. And those who have realized Vedic knowledge are even better. While among those, the best are they who practice their knowledge in life. So I am of the opinion that you are the best of all men, having realized the supreme Brahman. Your knowledge and wisdom are equal to that of Brihaspati. So you know what kind of man Yudhishthir is and how the Kurus stole his kingdom. You also know the situation in Hastinapur, as well as the nature and disposition of Dhritarashtra and his son. Duryodhana will not voluntarily return Yudhishthir's kingdom. His old father, blinded by attachment, will follow his lead." Drupada then explained that although he should go to Hastinapur to ask Dhritarashtra to return the Pandavas' kingdom, there was another purpose. He knew that Duryodhana and his father could not be swayed by reason. The priest's job, therefore, was to convince other Kuru leaders of the righteousness of Yudhishthir's claim and of Duryodhana's foolishness in bringing on the war. After 13 years of listening to Duryodhana, there might be a few Kurus who may be able to recognize the truth. The cruel and dishonest treatment meted out to the Pandavas at the Dice King might have all been but forgotten. Why, even the wise and ever-virtuous Balaram seemed to have been influenced toward the Kauravas. By your speaking words of virtue and truth, you will win the hearts of honest men. Vidura will support you, as will Bhishma, Drona, and Kripa. In this way, you will create dissension among the Kurus. They will lose time trying to re-establish unity among themselves, and that will allow us to make further preparations for war. It may even be that Dhritarashtra, moved by your words, will actually act upon them and do what is right. In any event, we will benefit from your going there. Do not fear for yourself, as they will certainly respect you. You are a learned Brahmana and an ambassador, as well as an aged and virtuous man. After receiving Drupada's request, the priest left immediately for Hastinapur. Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya. Namaste Tejase Avirbhava Vadranakha Vadradangstra Karmashayan Randhaya Tamograsa Om Swaha Abhayam Atmani Bhuishta Om Traum. Namaste Narasimhaya Prahlad Dayane Hiranya Kashi Vaksha Shilatanka Nakalai Ito Nrsinga Parato Nrsimho Yato Yami Yato Nrsimha Bahi Nrsimho Hridayi Nrsimho Nrsimham Ading Sharanam Prapadi Tabakara Kamala Bare Nakam Adbhuta Sringam Dalita Hiranyakashipo Tanubringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Nrsimha Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare